oh yeah, I should probably get on with it type of thing. Okay, truck can wait there. Not sure. I don't think that's going to be a full load, so that's good. You're still mulching, you're still sitting there, you're still there. You are empty. Good, we'll turn that off. You are, oh good grief, you're almost full. There we go. And your engine is started, the plough is on the ground, so we continue. Very, very, very carefully, we will take this round the corner and should, for the most part, work out. We get a slightly rounder corner on the edge, which is fine. We are pushing the width of the field out quite a little bit. So I'm gonna lift that up. Because yeah, that's coming way outside. All right, you can be there. Gonna work? I think for the most part that is going to work. I think when I did this before, control system messed up. Control system I'm not actually using. When I did this before, I put the outside of the plough to the outside of the field. So it doesn't, you look at this, you look at that blue line and we're pushing quite a few pixels off to the right. You look at this side and we are just running along that blue line. So we may do the rest of the fields clockwise or flip the plough. We can do it either way. The thing. We're nearly back to the beginning, so not a big fuss here. Also, doing it this way round does mean that corners like that. See, we're already lined up on the yellow line, and the plough doesn't quite run inside of the existing field boundary. And here, got an issue. So there's going to be a bit of a bulge there. I guess it is what it is. And start hauling round there. Try not to end up, yeah, see there I've ended up outside of the bounds. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to run over here. Get us lined up. Oh, that. Lower the plough, and we should actually end up with a smoother corner there. Now we're back where we need to be, and then I'll do what I did at the last corner. this way. And do that now. Again, I want to get the back of the plough inside of where we're currently at, then drop it. Yeah, that's a thing. How's the time? 9:47. Harvester needs to be emptied again, of course. That should bring us back to the beginning. All right. So, outside of this field is now better than it was. I'm going to put that there and drop that. I'm just going to turn that way. Tiny bit. That looks like a better turn. Okay, this time we are going the wrong way around the field. Not sure if that's going to work too well. No. Let's turn that way. There. And off we go. Oh, of course, what I forgot was need to go and harvester. Please. How are we doing? Coming up to 10 o'clock, so see how this all works out. I'm guessing mulcher might be done. Turn that engine off. Nope, mulcher's still at it. Still has a fair bit to do. Truck station idle. So, back to here, let's go round again. So I can now get the planter out and plant these fields if I want to. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it rains, and then after the rain's finished, we'll plant these fields. When you have 2 cornfields to harvest, we do have those 2 fields plus the soybean field to mulch. See our little mulcher over there. That's gonna might be 11 o'clock by the time he gets done, so he might be finished by the time the rain happens. Not a bad thing. And then he can spend the afternoon mulching soybean field. Rolling, I'm not going to do rolling until October 4. But chances are I will have the seeding done. This might kick the plough out a bit. No. Can we try that again? Yes. Need to watch the back end of the plough. Yeah, see the back end of the plough not going where I want it to be. Lift that up. Do that. Probably come back and do the rest of that with the front of the plough. This is why I like using shorter ploughs. They're much easier to control where they're ploughing. The longer they are, the more they drag out the back, and the harder it is to control what it is they're doing. Still, what you can do is that a little bit of a miss there, but okay. No. Goodness me, really? That's where I want to be. All right. But it doesn't matter the inside bit, it's the outside edge that I'm most concerned with. But this does put the blue line again a few pixels outside the actual field boundary. Normally you wouldn't do this with create fields turned on, because if you did, next time you come round the field's going to be a couple of feet wider, and then the next time you come round it's going to be a couple of feet wider. So you only really do this when the map has been, when the fields get redefined, and so the map's just kind of a mess. Or the map's been redefined on an existing game save, should I say. If you're starting a new save, it doesn't matter. You can start with any map, but and that was the problem we had was, you know, some of the fields got reworked, and that creates a little bit of a mess when it comes to I don't think the map makers have why are you there? That's the one. I don't think the map makers have control over what the field numbers are. Sort of the issue we had here was the field diagonally across the way there. That got split into two fields, which renumbered a whole bunch of fields, which meant that some of the fields we had owned, we no longer owned, and some of the fields we owned, no, we hadn't owned, we suddenly owned. So you then have to fudge, what the heck? You have to fudge something to make it so that the fields are, the fields you had you still own, and the fields you didn't have, you either remove the ownership from it, or you need to make sure you paid for it. Lift that up. This is not easy. Well, I might, yeah, no, I can't do this. I just, there we go. The corner of the field is done. Let's zoom in again. I'm going to swing this corner a little bit wider than it has been, but that's good. All the way down here. The harvester needs to be emptied, of course. Not going to worry about that too much now. What's the time? 10:17. Yeah, I don't really want to start seeding yet. That said, once the rain comes, what I can do is load the seeder up. Okay. It's a little bit rough there. A little bit wide here. That'll be fine. That up, back that up. All right, that's fine. And across the bridge into the next field. And we'll unfold that. Do that. We'll do that. And we'll jump over here. Ugh. Get the harvester unloaded. Do I want to go again? Yeah, we'll go one more time. I think. How's the mulcher? Ugh. Don't know. I have to empty this cart. However, oh, mulcher's still mulching and still a bit to go. 3, 2, 1, go. No. I want to make sure this ends up empty. We can always drive the truck over to the silos with the covers on. There. That's not a problem. It shouldn't be. What other things do we have to do? I don't know. May just be fast winding through the rainstorm and coming back afterwards to do more. That's 4. That. It's not 4. Okay. Do that. Do that. Plough's not close to being in the right position there, so I'll have to fix that bit there later. But yeah, like I was saying, with a shorter plough, and because I'm only using the plough for this sort of job, I could use the smallest plough possible, in which case it sits right behind the left wheel of the tractor, and so long as I keep the left wheel of the tractor on the edge of the field, the plough will just follow through. It's not going to cause any issues. My chair is complaining, which might mean I need to buy a new one sometime. Although one thing we did do, actually was probably when we first moved into this home, we had wooden floors put in. So what we ended up doing was buying some really nice office chair wheels. And they come in packs of 5, which is good because office chairs tend to come in with 5 wheels. And all we really ended up doing was we swapped out the cheap plastic wheels that come with office chairs and replaced them with these nice rubber tired wheels. So what that results in is it doesn't scratch the floor. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of friction either. So what ends up happening is you have what ends up happening is you know, playing games like this, it's very difficult to stay in stop the chair from rolling around. This is again awkward. I think I might go back to doing it counterclockwise. How's the harvester? 75% full, so yay. Be done. This is third field, so I've only got one more field to do this for. We've still got all the interior fields to do, but again, we're not planting those until spring, so I don't have to worry too much about fixing them. And I think the field I was talking about that was diagonally across the crossroads, we've already done this on that because it was a real mess because it got cut in half. Well, cut in 2 pieces. Okay. Harvester is done. So given it's 10:40, we could potentially go again. Rain is at 11. I would have to get over there and get that started. So, well done. Oh, and the harvester's facing them. Of course it is. And this is why I don't want to plough fields together, because it gets very complicated getting the harvester emptied. Unless you turn off crop destruction or put narrow tyres on your biggest tractor so it doesn't destroy the crop. So, go home, back up. Empty that. Oh. See, because we have to move the harvester now, I have to sit and take care of this. You're still mulching. Oh, mulch is finished. Okay. Good. To here. Turn the helper back on. And back this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for a minute. You're good, you're good. You're done. So, I mean, this can run all the way until the rain starts. And then I can leave it in the middle of the field. It'll just get rained on. Have to. Need to go around the creek. And back again. Then off I go. Doing your thing. We are back here. And the other thing I could be doing here, instead of doing the let's try and work the field all the way to the edge, it could just